So we have different profiles. So these profiles were initially introduced in version WebSphere application server 6.0. So profiles in WAS version WAS ND version 6.0. Deployment Manager DMGR, App Server, Custom Profile. Profiles in WAS ND version 6.1. DMGR. DMGR means Deployment Manager.
And what is custom profile?
Custom profile is also one profile, but by default it doesn't contain any server. Okay, it contains the empty node, so it contains one cell and one node. It doesn't contain any servers. Generally, we use that custom profile while creating the clusters.
Okay. Venkat, I was checking with Verma for the software, and I think he answered most of my queries. The one thing that he wanted me to check with you was for image file for CentOS. So will you be able to give it for this version?
Yeah, share your email ID. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have VMware Workstation?
Yeah, I do have a Windows 7 on top. On the top is Oracle Virtual Machine, and the top is Red Hat Linux. So I can add one more virtual machine. If you give the CentOS.
Okay. So if you want, I will share VMware Workstation also.
Actually, I'm not using VMware. I'm using a virtual machine, Oracle.
Okay.
VirtualBox.
Okay. VirtualBox. Okay.
Yeah. So if you could give me the image of CentOS, then I will install it here.
Okay. I will share you in Google Drive.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, these are the profiles in WAS Yeah, WAS NG version 7 and 8.0 and 8.5. Okay, app server profile, cell profile, custom profile, and they introduce and management. So inside the using the management, we can create deployment manager, job manager, and admin agent also. Okay, and secure proxies another profile. So generally by default each profiles are group of files. So it defines the runtime environment. It defines the runtime environment, that means the server. So each profile contains one different type of server. Okay. So we can install the profiles in two ways. We can install the profiles in the product in two ways. One is using profile management tool. Second one is manage profiles.sh. Profile management tool is graph GUI tool. So we can install the profile in GUI mode. The location of this command is opt IBM WebSphere app server profiles app server bin profile management.
Is it the same in Windows?
Yeah, in Windows also it's the same. Okay. So C IBM program files something. Okay. C program files IBM WebSphere app server bin profile management and pmt.sh. Okay. So the next one is command line tool. To create the profiles.
A question, Venkat, here. For the GUI tool, you said that inside the WebSphere folder would be the app server folders. I hope you are not meaning app server means app server profile, right? Now we're assuming that there is no profile created and only the
No,
software is there.
yeah. App server. So till app server, that is a product location. Okay.
Okay, I got it because okay, yeah, I got it. So there is a bin directory and then their PMT would be there. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this is product location OPT. So here OPT IBM WebSphere app server is the WebSphere application server product installation location.
Right.
Generally,
Or that's called VAS home also, right?
yeah, VAS home. So we call okay VAS home. So VAS home is the WebSphere variable. Okay, WebSphere environment variable that points to the product installation location. We have different variables in WebSphere, environment variables in WebSphere. So one of the variable is VAS home. VAS home means that points to the product installation location. So by default, those variables will be automatically created. So we have two ways. We can install the profiles in two ways. One is profile management tool and second one is command line tool. Okay. So today I am going to create the profile in profile using profile management tool. Today I am going to create the profile using the profile management tool.
So Venkat, I have a quick
I'm
question.
creating app server profile.
Venkat, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Yeah, in interview, if somebody asks me like, what is the profile, why we need a profile concept, what is having an advantage of having a profile, what should be my answer like?
No, profile means it's a group of files. Okay, to define the runtime. Okay, to define the runtime means to create one server. Okay, to create servers. So profiles are group of files to define the runtime. And why we use the profiles means it's the same. Okay, to create different types of servers on the installation. Okay, by default the VAS product doesn't contain any servers. So to create any servers, we have to install the profiles. Okay, and that's it, right? Or did you ask any other question?
Yeah, so basically, I'm asking in a business perspective, like, is a profiles created for creating a multiple environments, like, you can create a dev, pre-prod, performance environments in the same box so that the resources can be shared uh, for the different environments. Is it something like that, or we can create a multiple
Yeah,
website using a
but
profile?
generally in real time we don't create in the same installation, we don't create the profiles for development and pre-production or production like that. So generally in real environments also, for development we install one installation. On that installation we create the profiles. Generally we don't share the same installation for multiple environments. So for development or pre-production, production, uh, DR like that. But in single installation, we can create multiple profiles. In single product installation, we can create multiple profiles. So you're telling sharing the resources, right? So sharing that we do using the admin agent profile. So admin agent and multiple standalone app server profiles. So we can install multiple standalone app server profiles in single installation. So those all application servers we can manage with one admin agent. Okay. So that is in development when only we use that scenario in the development environment. Okay, but in real time we don't create different profiles for different environments in the same installation. So we create separate installations for each environment setup.
So now, why the concept came up? Like, in 5.0 we don't have any profile concept. There should be some advantage.
5.0 we don't have the profiles, but in 5.0 to create the deployment manager we have to install complete installation. Okay, to create the app server we have to install complete installation. So for each server, each server we have to install complete installation. But in profiles, just install the product, and on the top of that product, we can install multiple profiles. Okay, that is the difference, major difference from 5 to 6. The profiles. Okay, so profiles are. Did you understand or not?
Yeah.
So before.
I mean, can I answer like this? Like, having a multiple profiles, like, custom profile 1, custom profile 2, like, each profile I can treat as a different website, something like that.
Yeah, because if suppose in app server profile it contains one server, okay. In that server we deploy different application. In app server 2 profile it contains one server, we can deploy different application. So we can create different websites also in single, but to create different websites we don't require multiple profiles. Okay, in single server also we can deploy multiple apps and we can create multiple websites for those apps. Okay, in single server also. So that is everything is depends on the requirements. Okay, business requirements we can set up in different ways.
So my answer should be something like, profile is nothing but a group of files to create a runtime environment and to create a JVMs.
Yeah, runtime create a JVMs, and in single installation we can create multiple profiles. Okay. So, but that is not possible in version 5.0.
Version, sorry, what?
Yeah, in version 5 we don't have the profiles, right? So there to install the deployment manager, we need to install the complete product and DMGR combination.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So I just accessed the profile management tool. So this is the interface of the profile management tool. So from here we can create the profiles. Okay, so using this profile management tool, click on create. So these are the profiles we have in version. This is version 8.5, and version 7 and 8.0, 8.5 profiles are same. So self profile, management, apps, application server, custom profile, and secure proxy. So I'm creating application server profile. So this application server profile creates application server. Okay, the type of that server is application server. So we can give any name for that server. Okay, but the type of the server is application server. So this application server profile creates application servers. Okay, we can name any names. So that application server in business generally we use that application servers to install our business applications. Okay, business applications means generally in organization they develop the applications for different business requirements. So those applications we install in this application server. Okay, this application server provides the runtime for those apps, so we can install and we can access those applications in these app servers. Okay, so I am creating this application server profile. So read the description here. An application server environment runs your enterprise applications. So WebSphere application server is managed from its own administrative console and functions independently from other application servers. So it contains the app server. That app server configuration we can manage from its own administrative console. So admin console is it's a web app, web application. So it's a web admin console. So using that web admin console, we can manage this profile configuration. Generally, we can manage in other way also, but we can manage in the administrator using admin console. And if I install two app server profile, so I cannot manage one app server profile from another app server profile by default. So both works as independently. Okay. So we cannot manage one app server from another app server.
Okay, so Venkat, what I was saying that for managing multiple application server, we have to create another profile that's called deployment manager. Am I right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, another question that rather than creating application server now, is it okay to go ahead with the cell now? Because cell will have the deployment manager and application server that is federated with cell. Is that a good move?
Because you have some knowledge on the WebSphere application server. I don't know about the other participants.
No, just a question I'm asking. I mean, I know the
okay. Yeah. So we can create the ready-made environment, ready-made federated environment using the cell profile. So that creates deployment manager and the app server profile will federated to the DMGR cell.
Okay, got it. Okay.
So Venkat, I have a question here. So in real-time environment, so how we create, like, we create a cell profile or we create a
cell we don't use. Okay, cell generally we use in the lower environments. Okay, in the development environment I want one federated environment. So we use the cell profile there. But in the production environment, generally we set up DMGR is in one location and app server is one location, the nodes in different locations. So there we don't use the cell profile. So we use DMGR install DMGR separately and nodes in different locations. Okay. So that cell profile creates the DMGR and app server in the same installation. Okay. In the same installation and same box. So we cannot create in different locations the profiles. Okay.
Yeah, and now I understood what I was talking about. Like for in my project, I see them they created cell, and because of the cell deployment manager and application server they are on the same host box, the physical box.
Okay.
And I understand why did they create. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That is everything is depends on the requirement. Okay. So, but most of the environments DMGR will be in different location. In that case, we don't use the cell profile. Okay, if the DMGR and one federated node is in one box, we can use. Okay, but most of the cases we don't use.
Okay,
It's
got it.
So Venkat, so the approach should be like creating a DMGR profile and creating a custom profile, right? I mean, I'm confused between application server profile and a custom profile. In real time, we create a custom profile or application server profile?
No, both profiles we use. Okay, in the cluster setup, we use both profiles. But while creating the custom profile, we will name it as a something app server 02, app server 03 like that. But it's a custom profile. Okay, so we use both app server profile and custom profile.
Okay, now let me ask this. When we create an application server profile, once the profile is created, after that, if I delete the server one JVM, that is equivalent to custom profile?
Yeah, that is equivalent to custom profile exactly.
But once the server one JVM is created, can't I change the name of the JVM?
We can change it, but we don't have any direct script for changing the name. We have to change multiple files. We have to change multiple files to change the node name, cell name, or JVM name.
Okay, now if my requirement is a specific naming convention for my JVM, then I should not use a application server profile.
Yeah. No. If can you tell me the no? We can if you want specific name also you can change. You can use app server profile. Okay, because in profile management tool we cannot we can change the name also in profile management tool and manage profiles.sh. By default the name is server one. So while installing the app server profile, you can customize the names. Okay. After installation, we have to use them manually. But before installation, at the time of installation, you can customize everything. The server name we can customize, node name, cell name, everything we can customize.
Or even an application server profile, because an application server profile by default it creates a server one JVM.
No. If you don't customize, that will create with server one. Okay. If you customize, you can name it any name. Okay. You can give any name if you customize. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
If you don't customize, the name is server one.
Hi Venkat. Just want to ask one question. Under cell profile, you said the server will be created and it will be federated to deployment manager. How many servers will be created under cell profile by default?
No, only two profiles. One is a deployment manager profile and one is app server profile. It's so that app server node will be federated to the DMGR cell.
Only one app server will be created.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, sure.
So click next. So advanced profile creation, here we can customize the host name and cell name, node name. Okay, and this is typical. So select advanced and deploy administrative console. This is one Java application. Okay, so we deploy this application in this server so that we can that provides one interface, web admin console, so that using that interface we can manage that complete app server profile configuration. Okay, so that web admin console we call admin console. Okay, admin console we call the administrative console. So deploy default app is the sample application. So click next. So this one we can uncheck now. Later also we can deploy. Okay. But this is recommended to install this app. So that we can manage the application server profile very easily. Click next. And see the profile name is app server 01 and profile will be installed in the installation. This is the by default location. The profile will be installed under the product and the profiles. So under the profiles app server 01 will be created. So here we can customize the profile name. We can customize the profile name and profile path. Okay. Profile path we can install on different file system also. Okay, by default the profile will be installed in the product location and the profiles directory. But if we want, we can create the profiles in different file system also. Okay, so everything is depends on the requirements. So I am using the same name AppSRV01 and click next. And see here the default name is that application server name is server 1. Here we can customize, okay, something test server. We can customize the server name here. Depends on the requirements. Okay. So host name is the local host and node name I am going to customize.
Okay, so server is the server name. Server 1 is inside the application server profile, right?
Yeah, that server will be in the app server profile. Correct.
Okay.
So Venkat, in the host name in a real-time environment, it should be the IP address or the DNS name, or because if I go into a single box and if I do if config-a, I see multiple IP address in the single box. So how do I know like what is the correct IP? How do I know whether I should use a DNS name or IP?
No, generally our next level team will provide all these details, host name and so we have to check with them, okay, which virtual IP we are going to use. Okay, so that is we have to, before installation, we have to sort out those things. Okay, so what virtual IP we have to use. Okay, so or else we can generally we can use virtual IP or the DNS name also. Okay, so it depends on the requirements. So if the requests are coming to this app server through one virtual IP, okay, then we give the host name as that virtual IP host name. Okay, host name means there we give the virtual IP. So if the requests are coming to this app server using any DNS name, so we can give the DNS name also.
Venkat, I didn't get that that answer. So basically, the request will come from the IHS, right? So IHS, and there are multiple IHS servers and multiple app servers.
Yeah, IHS to multiple app servers, correct.
Right.
So what I said is that is if the request directly come through app server, okay, without IHS.
Okay. Okay.
But with the IHS, we can use here we can use the IP or virtual IP or the host name or DNS name also. Okay, we can use the DNS name or IP, host name.
DNS name means the
That
server.
host name of that server.
Okay, so the virtual IP means it's not an FI virtual IP or a route load balancer IP, not right?
Yeah, those are no. So the single machine also contains multiple virtual IPs. Okay, physical. So it contains different IPs in single machine. Okay, so we can give any IP or the DNS name of the server.
Okay, so those details we'll get from the OS team, operating system team, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So click next, and we deployed administrative console and so the administrative security we have to enable. The reason is, so if we don't enable administrative security, anyone in that network, okay, anyone in the network can manage that, can change the configurations. So if we enable the administrative security, only whoever the authorized people, they only authorized members, they only log in and they change the configurations in the WebSphere application server. So administrative security is also it's recommended. Okay, so WAS admin. So click next. So by default, it creates SSL certificates also in WebSphere application server. So no need to change anything. So click next. So that will use the default certificates. Okay. Click next. Click next. So application server contains different ports. Okay. Each port listens different type of request. So we have different ports in WebSphere application server. So that application server. So in the left side, we are seeing the default ports. In the right side drop down, we are seeing available ports in this machine. Okay, left side ports are default ports 9060, and these are the available ports 9043. Okay, so those are available ports in this machine. So click next. So the ports range will be, we can use 0 to 65,535. The port numbers change. Okay, so we can customize the port numbers. We can use the number until 65,535.
Venkat, I have a quick question. Sometimes in production environment, we see port conflicts. So if I see any port conflict, can I go and change that port number, or you have to follow specific order like this?
Yeah, we don't need to follow any order. Okay, we can change the port numbers. Okay, but generally we don't set up the environment blindly. Okay, so if some installation is using some ports, so we use different ports for another installation in the same box. Okay, so we use different ports. So we sort out what ports are using in that existing installations. So what ports we have to use. If we use the same ports, okay, only one server can run. Okay, only one server can run at any time. Okay, so to start both servers is not possible. We get the port conflicts. Okay, so stop one server and start another server. Or else, if you want to start both servers same time, you have to use the different port numbers.
No, let me ask in a different way, the same question. Say for example, I installed a profile one, custom profile one, and there is a JVM running on that. Okay, during the installation of a second profile, by some reason the first profile JVM was down. Okay, and it picked the same port numbers again.
Okay.
I mean to say the same custom profile, one port numbers, while I'm creating the second profile. So the second profile is up, and the JVM on that profile is also up and running. After that, when I'm trying to bring the JVM on profile 1, I'm seeing a port conflict. So can I go ahead and change the...
Yeah, we can change the ports, okay? That is the only solution. Otherwise, we cannot run both servers. So we have to change the port numbers from the admin console, and we can start both servers.
Okay, so that was my question. Like, how do I know what port number that I have to give? I mean, can I randomly go and give any port numbers, or how it works?
If you don't have any requirements, okay, some specific port number series, so you can give any number. Suppose here this is using some port numbers, right? So we can give the numbers like 10,000, 10,001. We can use the same series, okay, some numbers, 10,002. So we don't have any, we can give any numbers, okay, here. So 10,003, like that we can give. So port numbers range will be till 65,535. We can use any number.
So these are only the port numbers, or there are more port numbers in server.xml file or in server index.xml file?
No, these are the only ports. Okay, these are the only ports we can see in the server index.xml.
Okay.
Okay. So now click next. So I'm using 10,000 series, the port numbers. So click next. So we can skip this web server definition. This is not required at the moment. So click next. So we are installing the profile, app server profile. Disk space is 200 MB is required. So click create to create the profile. So this will take 5 to 10 minutes to create the app server profile.
Venkat, I have a question. Like, if you want to add more server to existing application profile, then do we have to go through the same way, or is there another way to add more servers?
To add the servers, generally we federate the DMGR. From the DMGR, we add the servers.
Okay, I got it. And the DMGR we access through integrated admin console, am I right?
Yeah, DMGR we access through that DMGR admin console. So once we federated the console, we can access from the DMGR only. It's not integrated, but the console we access from the DMGR only. We cannot access from the app server profiles once we federated.
Yes, got it. I remember the console, yes. Thank you.
So we are installing
I had a quick question.
Yeah, app server profile. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, my question was for the thing is, what would be the justification for installing multiple servers on one machine? You're saying that we install multiples. Each server is an application. It could be a enterprise application that we install on top of WebSphere.
Yeah. So
Okay,
generally,
so it's
that is different. Okay, we have different scenarios to create multiple servers. So one is, suppose in the production environment, to create the cluster, we create multiple servers. Okay, to set up the cluster, we create multiple servers. So we automatically, if we add the new cluster members, those will be created as different servers. Okay, so in that that is in cluster scenario. In the lower environments, we can create multiple servers to install different applications. Okay, like that. But in the
okay.
okay.
So what you're saying for like load balancing, high availability, we'll have, let's say 10 servers in a cluster, but they all support one application.
Yeah, correct.
It's possible.
So, correct. So that is the case. Okay, and we are installing app server profile. So we are installing the app server profile under the profiles. Okay, so profile name is app server 01. We can give any name. So that profile contains some configuration. Okay, it contains multiple folders, but it contains the config folder contains the profile related configuration files. Okay, so under the config, it contains one cell under the profile configuration, cell and cell name. So cell contains multiple nodes. Okay, cell can contain multiple nodes, but by default it contains only one node. Cell can contain multiple nodes, but by default, while creating the profile, it contains only one node. Okay, cell name, and cell contains the nodes, node name, and node contains the server. So node can contain multiple servers, but by default, with the app server profile installation, that node contains only one server. Okay, cell name, and nodes, node name, and server name. Okay, that is the same hierarchy we see in the folder hierarchy also. Okay, in that profile configuration, we can see the same folder hierarchy: cells, cell name, nodes, node name, and server name. Cell contains nodes, nodes contains the servers. So by default, one cell contains one node contains one server. So here we have different configuration files in different scopes. So cell scope, we have different configuration files. Those are .xml files and property files. And node level also, we have different configuration files. So in each scope, we have different configuration files in cell level, node level, and the server level also. Okay. To manage this all configuration files, all the profile configurations, we use administrative clients. So administrative clients, okay, those are either admin console, that is web console, and wsadmin.sh, that is scripting interface. Okay, so we use either admin console or scripting interface to manage this complete profile configuration. Okay, or we have another way. We have to manage this complete configuration. We have to develop our custom interface using the JMX API, but no one developed that customized interface to manage these configurations. We use either administrative console or wsadmin.sh, the scripting client we use to manage this complete profile configuration. Okay, so this is app server profile. Here it contains two types of applications. One is system applications, another one is user applications, system apps and user apps. So system apps by default comes with the product. Okay, we don't need to install separately. System apps by default comes with the product. So those system apps we use for managing the product. We or the product itself use those applications to manage the configurations. Okay, and user applications means whatever the business develops the apps, those applications we call user applications. So system apps by default, system apps will be installed in the VAS home system apps location, and the user applications will be installed in different location. So one of example of the system application is isclite.er. This is a system application. This application comes with the product. So we use this application to manage the profile configuration. Okay. So to manage that complete profile configuration, so that is administrative console. isclite.er is the web. It provides the interface, web admin console interface. It provides the web interface, so that we call admin console. So using that admin interface, web console interface, we manage the profile configuration. Okay. So did you understand this diagram?
Yeah, and the ISC Lite ER is installed under VAS Home System Apps?
Yeah, that will be installed in that location.
Okay. If by any reason, if I'm not able to access the admin console, is there anything I can go and make the changes here, or how to put that?
Yeah, if you want to customize, we can make some changes. Okay, under that system apps.
Okay, I mean, you mean to say I can uninstall and install here again?
Yeah, for uninstallation and installation, we do this using script. Okay, we have one command, deploy console something, redeploy console something. So using that command, we can install the admin console again. Okay.
Okay, but normally we don't touch that, right? That ER.
Yeah, normally we don't touch that ISC Lite application.
And that's installed with the system, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Venkat, my question is like this ICLite.er that is inside VAS Home folder, and from there it's going to manage the application profile that is outside the VAS Home folder.
Yeah, that is actually the app is installed in VAS Home System Apps. Okay, app we can install in any location. Okay, apps we can install on the any location, but that app this app is installed in some location, but that app is installed on server 1. App is installed on server 1, but the location of the installation can be any path. Okay.
Okay. Got it. Okay. Got it.
So, Venkat, if we create a DMGR profile, then where it is installed? Because DMGR doesn't have any server 1, right?
Yeah, that will be DMGR is itself on JVM, right? So the ISC Lite will be installed in the DMGR process.
So, okay. So under VAS Home System Apps, I see a ER there. Under DMGR.
Yeah, you can see that ISC Lite, the installed location. Suppose normally for user applications, the installed location will be under the profiles, installed apps. Okay, that is the applications installed location by default. Installed apps and the DMGR. So for system applications, this is the installed location. Okay, VAS Home under system apps. So that is the installed location for the system apps.
Okay, got it.
Okay. So now the profile was installed successfully. Finish. File. and exit. So let's see the configuration. So under app server, system apps. So system apps here, it's multiple apps are installed. So ISC Lite is ISC Lite.er is also there here. So actually we can know where this app is installed. Okay, suppose if you see here, already you know you have intermediate knowledge in this app server profile, this WebSphere, I think. So go to profiles and app server profile and go to config, cells, cell name, nodes, and node name, and open the server index.xml. So see here ISC Lite.e. These are the deployed applications in this server. These are the, so app server comes with one server. Okay, that is server 1, application server, server 1. So these are the apps already installed on the application server, that's server 1. So ISC Lite. So these apps can be system applications or user applications. So ISC Lite.er is the system application. Okay. So see here, that is ISC Lite.er deployments ISC Lite. So I will show you another location. Go to cell and here click go to cell and applications. So here we are seeing all the installed apps in the server. So these folders, these application folders contains the application bindings. Bindings means where the application is installed on the which targets. Those are the generally we call bindings. So those bindings we can find in the ISC Lite, in the applications under the cell applications. So where the application is installed and the location of the installed application we can find here. So CD ISC Lite, go to deployments. So here we can see the bindings, but this is not application installation location. So open deployment.xml. So deployment targets, that means where this application is installed. So that is on server 1 on app node. Okay, this application is installed, and the installation location also we can see here. Installation location. See here. So the app is installed, deployed object. The app is installed, binary is URL. That is VAS install root and system apps and ISC Lite.er. That is, so that application is installed in that location.
Venkat, can you do a PWD there?
PWD, 1 second. Okay, so under cells applications and go to that application and deployments and that application folder, and there open the deployment.xml. If I open deployment.xml for other app, suppose default application, CD apps and a default app, deployments, and CD open deployment.xml. So default app is the user application. That application is installed under the app install root cell and the default application. Okay, the ER file location. and this application is installed on server 1, and the node name is app node. Okay. So here we can see the binding information. So app is installed in this location. Okay. Default application. So that location app is installed. So I hope you understand system maps and user applications. So those are installed in different locations.
Venkat, in the file that you opened, I saw XMI. Is it different from XML file?
Yeah, XMI is something different, but I'm also not aware of that exactly.
Yeah, even in WebSphere only I see XMI more frequently used with the XML file.
Okay.
So Venkat, do you have to know any other app ERs apart from IIC Lite?
System applications.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, we have, so by default, we have total, I think 4 apps or system applications are installed in server 1, 3 are sample applications. 1 second, cells and the cell name, nodes, node name, VI server index.x. So ISC Lite is system app, and this one is also system application, but I don't know the purpose. And IBM async, this one is also system application. WebSphere WSDM is also system. So these 4 apps are system applications. So the those apps internally, the server use those apps, okay, for managing few configurations internally. But ISC Lite we use, okay, we use the admin console to manage the configurations. We configure manually.
So when I install any business app, that entry will be shown here?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, yes. That's right.
Oh.
Okay, so every node, each profile, it contains a cell, nodes, okay, and servers. So under each node, it contains one server index.xml that server index.xml contains the deployed apps, okay, in that server. Okay, suppose 2 servers are there in the same node. So we can see the deployed apps for server 1 and server 2 also. Okay. Here these apps are deployed on the server 1. So if server 2 is there, at the end one separate configuration we can see for server 2. There it contains the deployed apps and the port numbers also. We can see the port numbers of those servers also in the server index.xml file. So we use 10,000, 10,001 to 10,019. So those ports we are seeing here.
And I could see admin host as 10,000 for HTTP.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And the secure could be different, I guess. HTTP.
Yeah, secure port is
10,003.
Yeah, 10,003. So if multiple servers are also there in the node, we can see all the servers configuration here. The servers configuration means the port numbers and the deployed apps on those servers. We can see in the server index.xml file. Okay. So next thing is so how to access the administrative console? How to access the admin console? Okay. So we have syntax, that is HTTP. So we require these ports. So admin console is the ISC Lite app. So that app we have to access. The components of that application we have to access. Okay. We require to access the admin console. we require admin host port or admin host secure port. So HTTP, the syntax will be HTTP colon the host name of the server colon WC admin host port and IBM / console. Okay, or admin. Yeah. So another way is HTTPS. So host name of the server colon for HTTPS we have to use the secure port. Okay. So the actual so in our case the syntax is HTTP, host name is localhost, and and port number is 10,000. IBM / console. For HTTPS, localhost 10,001 IBM / console. Okay, so or we can use admin also. So we can use any URL to access the administrative console. So let me access the admin console. So this is web application. So we can access in the browser. So enter. So unable to connect. Okay, unable to connect. I'm getting unable to connect. So the reason is this is we are accessing the ISC Lite application. So only where we access the applications which are in the started state. The apps are in started state. Then only we can access those resources in the application. Okay, so we to start the application we have to start the server. So currently the server is not up, so we have to start the server. So to start the server name is server 1 in our case. So go to profile bin and start the server from here. The command is start server.sh and server name. So to start the server, command name is start server.sh and server name. So once we start the server, automatically the apps will be started so that we can access that admin console application. So admin console is also one application that is installed on the server 1.
So Venkat, so we are accessing through HTTPS, right? So it is using SSL certs, or it is just a tunneling?
Yeah, it will use SSL certificates. So by default, the certificates will be installed while creating the profiles. So it used the personal certificate of the server.
Okay.
Okay, Venkat, we saw a lot of port number in that XML file. So the way we are accessing the admin server through the web, can we access the other application also through the web?
Other application,
Yeah,
no. So suppose only the admin console only we access using the admin host. To access any business applications which are installed on the server one, we use different ports. Those are WC default host and WC default host secure port numbers. Okay, those numbers we use to access the business applications. But we have 19 port numbers in application server. So each port number has different purpose. Okay, so SOAP connector port and bootstrap. Okay, so but we don't need to know all the port numbers. Okay, but few port numbers we use daily. Most of the scenarios. So those port numbers we have to know frequently. We use few port numbers. Okay, so here the app server is up. Server is up. Okay, so now access the administrative console. So administrative console, now it is working. So it's application, it's installed on the server one. So once the server is started, the apps also automatically starts and we can access the administrative console or any business applications also. Okay, so once the server is started, it creates one process ID. That process ID is 19340 here. Okay, so all these WebSphere applications have different types of servers are there, right? So those all servers, the runtimes are Java processes. So if the server is running, we can use Unix command to see that Java process. So multiple servers are running, but just now we started the server that is the process ID is 19340. So that is we have started with test9 user. Test9 user, we have started that process. Process ID is 19340. Whenever we start the server, the server writes this process ID number in one file that is under app server logs and the server name, and here it writes this process ID number in the server name.pid file. Okay, so server name.pid. So the process ID is 19340. Okay, so when we stop the server, normally this file will be deleted. If we start abnormally, the file will be there. Okay, if we start normally using stop server, the file will be deleted once the server is stopped. So this is the user interface of the administrative integration solutions console or admin console. So from here we can manage the profile configuration.
So Venkat, so we no need to be as a root to install the WebSphere, right?
Yeah, no need. That is, it depends. Okay, so we can install with root, and once the installation is done, we can change the permissions. Okay, that we are following in our environment. we install every installation with root user. Once the installation is done, we change the ownership and group for that installation.
Oh, okay, but that it is not a mandatory. How about IHS?
IHS, we have to, if the port number is 80, generally we have to use root user installation. Okay. If the port number is greater than 1024, we can run the IHS with non-root user.
Okay. So we install, no, if the port number is less than 1024, then we can install as a root, and after that we can change the permissions?
No. We have to, if we change the permissions, it won't work. Okay. We have to use root only to use the port number because the port numbers need to be started with, if the port numbers we use less than 1024, those services need to be start with root user. Okay. So if you change the owner name again, I think we get some issues. Okay.
Okay.
So
now in real-time environment, we don't have a normally we don't have a root user, right, for WebSphere admin. So how we can start the process then?
In IHS layer?
Yes, IHS layer.
No, generally, I worked in multiple environments. They gave the pseudo access they provide. So they don't give the direct root access. They give pseudo access to start the IHS. Pseudo access to root. So we can log in with our user sudo to root, and we can start the IHS instances.
Okay.
So this is so here under the servers, WebSphere application servers.
Venkat, real quick, I got disconnected the last 10 minutes. I just wanted to know, I saw that I got the connection back when you were in that the command line window. Did you have to run a start server or something to get the console working?
Yeah. So we need to start the server. So because that application is installed on the server 1, so to access the console, the app should be in the running state. So the apps will automatically run when the server is started. So I just started the server using the start server and the server name command. Okay. So after that I access the admin console. So in the application servers I am seeing the server 1. And in applications, yeah.
Is there can we use the GUI to start the server or no?
No, we have to start only command line only, no GUI, okay, for standalone. Okay, for standalone, we have to start using command line only, start server. Okay. So we are seeing total 3 apps here, but in server index.xml, we are seeing 7 applications. So in the administrative console, only we see the user applications, not the system apps. Okay. System apps we see in the server index.xml, but not in the administrative console. The admin console only shows the user applications or sample apps. So for normal standalone server, we cannot manage to start and stop. Okay, we have to do it from the command line using start server and stop server command for normal standalone app server. Okay. So these are the deployed apps. Okay, I'm going to stop the session now. We'll continue on next session on Monday evening US time. Okay.